Oh yes, I'm now the owner of 2 quad reverb. Well, hello there guys, how's it going? I know what you're thinking already. Thinking to yourself, Aaron, why in the f did you buy 2 quad reverbs? There's actually a really good reason behind it. But more on that later. Ugh. Well, howdy there guys. I did a thing. This VHS camera is from like 1986. It's super duper old. And I found it for like $5 and it didn't work at all. So then I had to be a mad scientist and tear it all apart and rebuild it. And I don't know how, but I fixed it and it worked. So I shot like all the intro to this video on this thing. And I absolutely love it. This is cool. Ugh. Yes, and here's Crisis. By the way, so everything on the intro, I recorded with this guitar, in case you were wondering. Okay, so I'll try not to talk your head off, but let me tell you about it really fast. So the reason it's called Identity Crisis is because it has like a phase 1 neck pickup in here, and then it's got like a phase 3 Univox humbucker in here. So I guess like it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's having a identity crisis, I guess. Doesn't know if it's phase 1 or phase 2 or 3 or whatever. And the reason I did this to this guitar and set it up like this is Kurt actually, right before recording In Utero, had one of these that was set up exactly like this. And I'm pretty sure that In Utero was recorded with this type of setup. I used to have a JB on here and a 59 in the neck and stuff, and it sounded nothing like it at all. It didn't sound right. I mean, at least I didn't like it. So I decided to do some really cool things with it. I put a Tunematic bridge on here, some rotomatic tuners, exactly the same as Kurt's was set up. And this one is a super rare mahogany neck version. Usually these come in maple necks. I've hardly ever seen any with mahogany necks out there. You can tell because they're a lot darker. And when I was drilling into here, the wood chips like coming out of here, and when I was installing the tuners, were super duper dark. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely mahogany. Supposedly Kurt's had a mahogany neck too. It's what it says online, but judging from pictures, it looked like a maple neck to me because it was a lot lighter. I really like, I've never seen any high flyers with a neck this dark, so it's really rare. By the way, this is a Arai Diamond. It's the same exact thing as a Univox, except these were branded for the Australian market, while the Univoxes came over here to the US. Oh, yes, and so I painted it blue, Sonic Blue and Nitro. I originally tried to paint it another color and it was just like a serious disaster, so I stripped it and I did it in Sonic Blue. It kind of aged to this really cool teal surf green color. And then on the back, I just put a bunch of inspirational stuff that I really like. So here's my wife. She's like my biggest fan and supporter. Super inspiring, so it makes me happy every time I see her on here. This right here is a flower from Steve Jobs' front yard. When I was in California not too long ago, I grabbed a flower from his front yard, and he always said to put a dent in the universe. So I wrote right here, leave a dent. It's kind of like a reminder to push myself harder, make a difference, do something. And a lot of y'all probably think this is like really stupid and weird, but I don't know. I'm like a sucker for stuff like this. To me, this is really cool. It's a flower from Steve Jobs' front yard. And Steve Jobs has always been a huge inspiration to me, and I love how he was like this billionaire guy and lived in this really modest neighborhood and went on walks, and you know, he's just a normal dude. That's how I would be if I had all that money, for sure. Here's a Nirvana Unplugged ticket, kind of cool. Here's an Ace card. This right here is, I don't know, Kurt had it on the back of his and I always thought it just looked cool, so I did it, but I'm probably gonna put something else here that I guess means something to me because I don't know what the fuck this is or who it is. It's just kind of randomly on my guitar. And here I put note to self, if you build it, they will come. Just kind of a reminder for me to build things, because if I don't build, you won't come, and so build it and they'll come. No, realistically, you know, it just reminds me to stay creative and build things. So this is a reminder. Anyway, I really love this guitar, but I won't talk your head off. Let's go ahead and play it. I guess right now would be a good time to check out the quad reverb, the new quad reverb. We'll play the neck pickup through it and the bridge and okay, whatever, I'll stop talking. Let's go. I'm sorry for my awful attempt at a Hendrixy solo. I know I suck. I've only been playing guitar for like a year and a half now, so still learning. But truthfully, I've never wanted to be one of those kind of like super shredded guitar players or super experienced. I've never really cared about that at all. I've never really wanted to shred. I've just wanted to like get melodies out of my head and find a way to do them with a guitar. You know, that's really it. I've never wanted to be like this super precision, insanely godlike guitar player. I just don't care about that. Okay, this quad reverb sounds amazing, incredible. This quad reverb sounds totally different. These are both the same exact thing. In fact, they're only a couple months apart from each other. They're both made by the world famous Castillo. He was a guy in the 70s that made these amps, and they were both wired up by him. And they, for all intents and purposes, are the exact same amp. They have the same speaker, same everything, but they sound pretty different. I'm gonna do a video on it later on and explain all that, why I have 2 quad reverbs and all that stuff, but this thing sounds really good. Really good. What did you guys think? I know Hendrix played like Marshalls and all that kind of stuff, but to me, like, these vendors can do it. They can really get Hendrixy really fast if you just max them out all the way. I'm a happy guy with my family, my 2 children, quad 1 and quad 2. Actually, quad 1 and quad 2. Okay. All right, I guess this is a good stopping point. It's currently 7:13 a.m. and I still haven't slept. Seriously need to do something about that. But since we were talking about Steve Jobs today, I figured I'll leave you with this. He said, "I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days, I know that I need to change something." I'll see you on the next one, guys.